My name is Emily, and if you think family drama is just reality TV, buckle up, because my life has been a scripted nightmare straight out of bad soap opera. I'm 28 now, living in a cozy two-bedroom house I scraped together with blood, sweat, and way too many overtime shifts. But let's rewind to where this mess started, because without the backstory, you won't feel the full sting of the betrayal. Growing up in a small suburb outside Chicago, my family was a picture of middle-class normalcy, or so it seemed. My parents, Karen and John, were high school sweethearts who built a life around their perfect son, Mike. Mike's 2 years younger than me, but from the moment he was born, he was the golden child. I was the afterthought, the kid who had to earn every scrap of attention. Don't get me wrong, I love my brother, or at least I used to. But favoritism has a way of poisoning everything. By the time I turned 18, I was ready to spread my wings. I'd worked part-time jobs through high school, saved every penny, and got accepted to a community college nearby. But that's when the first shoe dropped. My parents sat me down one evening in our cramped living room, the one with a faded floral couch that smelled like old coffee. "Emily," Mom said, her voice all syrupy concern, "we've been thinking. The house is just too small for all of us now. Mike needs a space. He's got big plans, with sports and all. We think it's time for you to move out and start your own life." I stared at them, my heart pounding. Move out? But I'm starting college. Where am I supposed to go? Dad chimed in, avoiding my eyes. "You're an adult now, kiddo. We'll help with the first month's rent on an apartment, but we can't keep you here forever. No space, you see." No space? Our house had 3 bedrooms. Mike had his own room. I had mine, and there was a guest room they used as storage for Mom's craft supplies. But apparently that no space was code for we're prioritizing Mike. He was a star quarterback in high school, destined for greatness, while I was just Emily. I didn't argue much. What 18-year-old wants to beg their parents to keep them? So I packed my bags, found a dingy studio apartment that reeked of mildew, and juggled 2 jobs while attending classes. It was hell. Ramen noodles for dinner, dodging sketchy neighbors, and crying myself to sleep wondering why my family didn't want me. Meanwhile, Mike got to run the house. Parents paid for his football gear, his car, even his college tuition, when he barely scraped by with a sports scholarship. Fast forward 5 years. I clawed my way through college, graduated with a degree in graphic design, and landed a decent job at a marketing firm. No help from family. Mind you, they were too busy funding Mike's adventures. He dropped out of college after 1 semester, bounced between jobs, and somehow always ended up back home with open arms. Me? I got birthday cards with $20 bills and awkward holiday dinners where Mom would gush about Mike's latest scheme. But I didn't let it break me. I saved obsessively, built my credit, and at 25, I bought my first house. It wasn't fancy, a fixer-upper in a quiet neighborhood with peeling paint and a leaky roof, but it was mine. I poured my soul into it. Weekends sanding floors, painting walls in soft blues, planting a garden out back. It became my sanctuary, a place where I finally felt secure. Friends would come over, we'd laugh over wine, and for the first time, I wasn't a discarded kid. Then last Christmas, the bomb exploded. We were all at my parents' house, still the same 3-bedroom, no-space palace. For dinner, Mike showed up late as usual with his latest girlfriend, a bubbly influencer type named Sarah. Over turkey and mashed potatoes, Mom cleared her throat. "Emily, sweetie, we need to talk about something." I froze, fork midway to my mouth. Dad looked uncomfortable, staring at his plate. Mike just grinned like he knew what was coming. It turns out Mike had proposed to Sarah, and they were expecting a baby. Congrats, right? But no, they need a place to start their family. Mom said, her eyes pleading. "Your house is perfect, 2 bedrooms, that nice yard. Mike's been struggling with jobs, and apartments are so expensive. We thought maybe you could sell it to him. Or, better yet, gift it. Family helps family, after all." I laughed at first, thinking it was a joke, but their faces were dead serious. "Gift it? To Mike? Mom, I bought that house with my own money. I worked my ass off for it." Dad jumped in. "Come on, Em. You've always been so independent. Mike needs this. He's starting a family. What do you need all that space for? You're single." The room went silent. Single. Like that made me less deserving. I felt my face heat up, tears pricking my eyes. "You kicked me out at 18 because there was no space for me here. But now Mike gets my house? Are you kidding?" Mike leaned back, smirking. "Sis, don't be selfish. I've got a kid on the way. Your place is way better than crashing here with Mom and Dad." I stormed out that night, driving home in a blur of rage and hurt. The next few weeks were a barrage of texts and calls. "Mom, think about the baby, Emily. Be the bigger person." "Dad, we could help with the down payment on something smaller for you." "Mike, come on." Fam hooked a brother up. Sarah even messaged me on Instagram, all hearts and emojis. It would mean so much to us. 2 hearts. I ignored them all at first, burying myself in work. But the pressure built. Friends advised me to cut ties. But family bonds are sticky, aren't they? Then came the twist that nearly broke me. One evening, I came home to find my parents' car in my driveway. They were inside. How? Oh, right. I'd given them a spare key years ago for emergencies. Mom was measuring the living room, tape measure in hand, while Dad chatted with Mike on speakerphone. "What the hell?" I yelled. Mom jumped, dropping the tape. "We were just envisioning it for Mike and the baby." "Honey, please." He lost his job again. "They can't afford rent." Dad added, "We thought we'd surprise you by helping pack." Pack? My own parents were trying to evict me from my own home. That's when I snapped. I grabbed the key from Mom's hand and changed the locks that night. The next day, I called a family meeting at a neutral spot, a coffee shop downtown. They showed up, all expectant smiles, like I'd come around. Mike even brought Sarah, who rubbed her tiny bump dramatically. I laid it out cold. "You kicked me out because there was no space." "Fine, but now you're trying to take my space?" "No, this house is mine. I earned it. Mike, get a job. Mom, Dad, stop enabling him. If you keep this up, you're out of my life." Mom gasped, tears flowing. "How can you be so cruel? We're family." Dad muttered about ungrateful kids. Mike exploded. "You're just jealous. Always have been. I deserve this more than you." "Jealous? Maybe once, but not anymore." I stood up, left cash for the coffee, and walked out. Blocked their numbers. It hurt like hell, nights of second-guessing, wondering if I was a villain. But then I started therapy, reconnected with old friends, even adopted a rescue dog named Luna who fills the house with joy.